Good afternoon, my name's Alex. Overall, this is my 5th YouTube video. I am excited to tell you about my 1-month review for my MacBook Pro with M3 Max chip. I had bought it refurbished with a military discount, saving me about $700 to $800 off the MacBook. And the cost would typically be about $3,200 for this computer without tax. So we're looking at, in Washington, 10% tax essentially, 9.9%, who cares? It's 10%. You would be paying about $3,500, a little over $3,500 for this computer. I am not a fan of that. I bought this computer, for those who don't know, for $2,477. It was refurbished with a 10% military discount that Apple gives. On top of that, I then put an Apple 3-year warranty on it. That again was military discounted on, and it was like $251 for the warranty. I would never recommend spending the full amount for any item. I'm a fan of value, and so if anyone's looking for value, that's how I would go. I would also recommend the Apple plan. Yes, you get a 1-year plan with the refurbished that comes with the MacBook, but here's the thing. After that 1 year, you are in trouble, or it's your bill that you have to fork over if you cannot maybe fix this computer through just a software issue. If this is a bigger issue than, say it's like a SSD goes out internally, you're gonna be paying potentially the full price of the computer or a lot to repair it from Apple. My purpose for it was to edit videos and get better at editing. I am no IT specialist. I am no computer guru. Overall, I just love being able to share the world, share things that I've learned, and in a platform that people use, YouTube. As far as my Mac, the durability is fantastic. I love the MagSafe feature. I love the screen resolution. I think the brightness is more than enough. Even though there's a new MacBook, even though there is a brand new iPad M4 with 1,000 nits worth of brightness, there's a point where I think too much brightness comes to a point where it's like, what is a real color? What is the real actual color? And I'm not a fan of that. Overall, I think that 600 nits is more than enough. My old computer, 2012 MacBook Pro, maxed out, was about probably 300 nits, maybe 200 nits. I don't know, just guessing. But it's been my go-to forever. The only reason I bought this MacBook was because my old MacBook didn't have enough power to process 4K videos off this GoPro that I'm using currently right now. I think that if you're looking for a MacBook that also future-proofs it, as people call it, for the foreseeable future, that you can't upgrade a MacBook, I think the refurbished MacBook M3 Max chip is more than enough. Has 36 gigs of RAM, 14 CPU, 30 GPU, which most people don't even know how to process that. The most I've ever used in data was 30.6 gigs worth of RAM, and that was a lot. Performance, the 36 gigs of RAM has been more than enough for future-proofing from a MacBook, and I could not see why I would need more. As many videos have shown before, the M1, M2 MacBooks are still doing great for editing and purposes, so the M3 MacBook Pro M3 Max chip is, once again, slightly overkill, maybe a little overkill. But here's the thing, I wanted a computer that processes, not stores everything. So I got a 1 terabyte storage internally, and then the rest is the 2 terabyte external drive. Link is in the description on where to get that. The reason I recommend an external closure is because this is the savings of $800 from Apple. I can adjust it, what storage it has inside of it. Conveniently, it just opens up. It has a little sliding connection right there, so you just slide it in, and you're off to the races. Another thing is the convenience. Slide out this little cord, and now you're connected to your computer within seconds. I'd watched videos on this exact product, and they showed that this little connection cord stays perfectly right where it needs to be, allows people to have the high speeds, which if anyone is also looking for a high-speed external drive, sure, you can go buy SSDs. I found plenty of SanDisks that were reading at like 800 megabytes, 900 megabytes read speed, and frankly, while that's good and all, that wasn't gonna be fast enough. If you're looking for something that keeps you working fast and works with your speed of your computer, I've found no reason to go faster than this for an external drive. And also, I've seen videos on this. This also can go up to 3.4 gigs per second if you get a 4 terabyte SSD in here. So that'll be maybe one day, but not anytime soon. Now, I personally use this enclosure from Zyke. And again, I do not profess to be super knowledgeable about computers, but this enclosure allows me to put a SSD in here. This is 2 terabytes, 990 Pro. The cool thing about this, select target drive and open. Let's check what this read and write speeds on this. So I'm getting 3.1 gigs of write, and I'm getting 3.1 gigs of read. I'll do that once again, 3.16, and read 3.1. Apple wants you to pay their $400 per terabyte inside of their storage. I say use this. It cost me about 130 bucks on eBay for the 2 terabyte SSD, and it cost me about another $104 for the Zyke drive. But overall, this is very nice. Plus, the Zyke drive comes with its own cord attached to it. This is currently attached to my computer, and also one little smaller cord for traveling purposes. Super convenient, super nice. As far as temperatures, this has been rated as one of the best for not getting hot, though functioning just like any SSD. Plus, if an SSD breaks on you, you are out a whole SSD. This, you just change out the card, and you're back in action. And this Zyke, I believe, can go up to 8 terabytes. So if anyone has any opinions on that, let me know. But I think this can go up to 8 terabytes as far as reading. So that's all I've got to say for the Zyke. But I must say, this would have cost $800 from Apple to have had this bought. Internal storage. But honestly, this is 3.1 gigs, read and write. And this allows me to almost read perfectly as I need to, everything. I edit off of this. I save data on this. Yeah, can't say enough good about it. Get a Zyke. And I'll have that also in the description. So the FaceTime is another consideration that I want to mention about the new MacBook Pro. Overall, the FaceTime is 1080p. I found that to be more than sufficient. I think that anything more than 1080p, I could not even imagine having a 4K quality FaceTime. Like, what does that even mean? It's great for depicting something for like a movie or YouTube, but beyond that, 1080p has been more than enough. This is my M3 MacBook Pro M3 Max chip charging block. It's 96 watts. Overall, it looks very similar to my very old 85 watt MagSafe power adapter for my 2012 MacBook Pro, fully maxed out. So just to give you a comparison, pretty much identical. Honestly, I would almost say this newer one is bigger, but I will say the good thing about the new computers, I love the C charging connection port. That is my favorite by far. Can't say enough about that. Super nice. But I will say the old ones, I like how you can have the ability to wrap your cord around the base of this. So it's just a small little convenient thing, but overall, pretty much the same. As far as the design further considerations are, nothing edgy about it. It looks, just like I said, just looks pretty thin. In comparison to my old MacBook, you can tell that it is ever so slightly bigger, and as you can tell on the top, it's not that much bigger. Maybe about a half an inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch bigger. So if size is a big consideration, this is a good option. As far as thickness, it's approximately the same, but again, you're losing probably 1/8 of an inch as far as thickness. So let's go over some things that I think are really easy improvements for a MacBook Pro. So I bought this little privacy, I guess you'd call it a window. It's just a small little metallic object that slides over your eyepiece. Now if you look at it, it actually looks like it's part of the computer. If Apple actually made this, I would buy this so quickly. Or this would just be an added bonus as to what I would buy, why I would buy this computer. It's just that protection of knowing that somebody can't just get into your computer and then automatically be using your FaceTime camera for whatever they want to do. So as for protection, I have on this computer an NBIN compatible with MacBook Pro 14-inch case. It's $12.59 off of Amazon. It protects the computer well. It doesn't add any more depth to it. Honestly, I wanted less material on my computer because I personally love the look of it and I didn't want to add too much to it. As far as how it works, it's pretty straightforward. It is just a quick snap on, snap off type of deal. You just snap it on the corners and it works. And there you are. You've got a MacBook that looks pretty and is ready to go. It keeps the look and appeal of the MacBook while not having to take up too much space on it. It's really great for not having to upsize your Mac bag because you put a bulky, chunky case on there. So if you're looking for something that's small and simple, look at my descriptions, and yeah, you should be able to find them. I've bought a Apple Magic Mouse Basic. Super nice, super convenient. Even though there's no functional right button on this side, I love how you can just tap it and there's a right function, as if you'd have a normal mouse. As far as the sleekness, people say the sleekness is just a little too much, but I love it. And I think it's just people being petty and just slightly nitpicking small things that just don't matter. Overall, yeah, there's a C connection charging port on it, but it works just fine. Connectivity, easy. All you do is plug it up to your computer and then plug it in and boom, it's connected. So one thing I want to discuss also is the internal audio versus external audio that I use to make this computer sound even better. So it has great internal audio, but I want to start off with external audio first. Baby, can you just stay we have my Bose SoundLink 2. Now listen to this difference. Baby, can you just stay I only have the audio. Listen to this audio difference.
Alex's MacBook Pro.
Now you've got it disconnected. As you can tell, it sounds a little flatter, but I gotta say, this is great. For a MacBook, this sounds phenomenal, but it just doesn't beat anything quite like the sound of the Bose color sound like kick in. Listen to this.
And Alex's MacBook Pro.
As you can tell, it has better bass already. But again, for having a MacBook, this is not bad at all. My final opinions are, probably my favorite thing about this computer is the fact that it just works. It doesn't get in my way. It is super fast. It never gets bogged down. Yes, they say it might overheat if you get a lot going through it, like Cinebench and all these other tests that people do. But for the average user, you're never gonna get that kind of usage out of your computer. It is ridiculously insane. I can say that it is without a shadow of a doubt like my favorite computer I've ever owned. It makes it easy to edit. It makes it possible to believe that you can actually do something that you've never done before. It's phenomenal. The connectivity is just unparalleled. You use Bluetooth devices, you know how hard it is to sometimes connect immediately. And I can tell you that every time I've turned this computer on, it searches for Bluetooth. It almost makes Bluetooth effortless to connect with. I'm using a 3-year-old Bose speaker. I'm using an iPad from 2022. I cannot say enough how easy it makes it.